Hello, Sunrise Ridge parents and students. It's Mr. Winslow. I'm creating this short video to help share with you how we grade work here at Sunrise Ridge Intermediate School. Grades are a tool to report the learning progress of students, and our mission at Sunrise Ridge is to ensure that every student learns at high levels. To achieve this, our teachers have identified essential learning standards for their subject. Every assignment, every homework piece that you do, and every test that you'll have throughout the year is connected to one of these essential standards. Teachers will share these standards with you through assignments and through communications posted in their room, but everything that we do is connected to these essential standards. To measure students' progress on these essential standards, Sunrise Ridge uses a standards-based grading scale called a proficiency scale, which you can see here. It is based on a 4-point scale, and this is how students are graded on their assignments here at Sunrise Ridge. You can see it starts with an NE, or no evidence, which means the student has not turned in an assignment or has not provided any evidence of learning. The next score a student could get would be a 1, which we call supported. You can see here that means the student's beginning to learn the standard, and with assistance or help from a teacher, they could complete the assigned tasks. The next score would be a 2, and we call that approaching. You can see that says the student is still learning the skill, but they know some of the vocabulary or can do some of the standard or skill independently. The next possible score would be a 3, which we call proficient. And this is the goal that we want every student to achieve. We want every student to be receiving 3s on their assignments. You can see if a student is proficient, they've met all of the defined expectations of this standard or skill. That is our goal for every student, to be proficient. Students can also earn a 4, which we call extended, which means the students have an in-depth understanding of this enough that they could teach it to someone else or apply what they have learned in different circumstances. So again, this is the proficiency scale that we use to grade students here at Sunrise Ridge. Teachers will create rubrics based on this same grading scale, and these rubrics will be for specific assignments. And so you'll have the same number system, you'll have the same descriptor, but this column will include the skills that students need that are specific to that assignment. If students have questions about their learning progress or about a score that they got on an assignment, they can look at the rubric that the teacher has given to them and identify which skills they need to work on. If a student is unsure of how to improve those skills, they can then go talk to the teacher and ask for guidance to help them improve their score. In addition to ensuring that each student is learning essential standards and knowledge, Sunrise Ridge wants to prepare students to be successful in high school. And one of the ways that we do that is to also use the traditional letter grades here at Sunrise Ridge. These letter grades are directly connected to the standards grade. Using the letter grade and a standards grade together will help students and parents better understand the rigor and work ethic required to succeed in high school. And you're familiar with and can see here on this chart the traditional letter grading scale. Again, the goal is for each student at Sunrise Ridge to be proficient or to get a 3 on the standards-based grading scale. A 3 or proficient would equate to an A, an A-, or a B on a traditional grading scale. Proficient or a 3 does not equal just an A. Proficient means a student has met the required standard, but there can be a range of quality work within a 3. Teachers will make those grading decisions using rubrics that outline the skills and expectations that students are expected to meet and will grade based on those standards. So a 3 is proficient, but within that 3, a traditional letter grade could be an A, an A-, or a B, depending on the quality of students' work. Now, to help maintain clear communication with students and parents and teachers, all Sunrise Ridge teachers will use a 10-point scale to determine the traditional letter grade. This chart below here that you can see shows the correlation between the traditional grade out of 10 points and the standards-based grade. So you can see here the points that would be entered, the standard score that correlates to that, and then the traditional letter grade that goes with those points. So if a student can earn a 4, that would equate to 11 points, which could be entered, which equates to an A. Again, our goal is for a student to be a 3, Within that range of a 3 or proficient, there could be levels of quality work which could equal either an 8, 9, or a 10. And those traditional letter grades would correlate to an A, an A minus, or a B. If a student gets a 2 on the standard score, that equals 7 points on the traditional grading scale, which equals a C. Then you've got 6 or a 1 on the standard scale, which equals a D. And then if you get 0 points or you have an NE, that would equal an F. And so as we work to communicate learning with our students, we are using the standard score and the traditional score, and they work together to help students know how they're learning each day. At Sunrise Ridge, to help report our letter grades and learning to parents and students, we use PowerSchool as a tool to do that. And parents and students can both check their grades and their learning progress anytime that they want throughout the school year. We encourage parents and students to check PowerSchool often so they can monitor their learning and be able to know where they are and ask questions of teachers regarding assignments and work. When you log in as a parent or a student, the first thing you see is the quick lookup screen. And this quick lookup screen has a list of the class periods each day. It has it broken down by quarter, and it shows their letter grades here. It also shows their attendance. And you can see here, you've got it based by quarter absences, and then total for the school year absences, and then you have tardies for the specific quarter and tardies for the entire school year. And this is per period this way, and then a running total here at the bottom. In addition, you can also see the current GPA of your student for the current quarter that we're in. From this screen, you can also click on these individual letter grades to get more specific information about the grades in that class, which we will now do. Once you have clicked on a specific grade, your screen will change to look like this. You will see every assignment that the teacher has entered up to that point, and it's only for the specific quarter that we're in. So you can see here the name of the assignment, and you can see the due date of that assignment. And then over here you can see your scores that were given to you on that assignment. Okay, you will also notice that each assignment is labeled as either evidence or practice percent. If it is labeled evidence, that means the assignment is being used by the teacher to measure your learning. Assignments that are labeled evidence have a bigger impact on your overall grade compared to assignments that are labeled practice percent. Practice percent assignments are still essential for your learning, but they have a much smaller impact on your overall grade. Now, as you look at your score on a specific assignment, you'll see the different measurements we talked about at the beginning of the video. You can see the points out of 10. You can see the traditional letter grade. And if you click on this blue box, a new row will appear and you can see your standard score. Remember that our mission and goal for every student at Sunrise Ridge is to be proficient or to have a 3 on each assignment. If parents or students have a concern about their grade, they should ask teachers what they can do to be proficient. This will ensure that students and teachers are focused on learning progress and not just trying to get more points. So parents and students, as you come into PowerSchool and check your grades, again, please keep the focus on the standard score. We're providing a lot of information. We encourage you to check this often, but please take the time to look at the standard score to determine how your student is doing. If your student has a 3, they are proficient and are doing well. Thank you for watching this video. Sunrise Ridge is an amazing place with fantastic teachers and awesome students. We want every student to learn at high levels and to achieve success now and in the future. Thank you.